Do you remember the 2013 Daytona 500? Well, I do, unfortunately, because the race sucked. But you may be asking, Jarrett, what the hell does a race from nearly 8 years ago have to do with racing today? Nothing directly, but interestingly, it's a chilling glimpse into the future that we currently live in. The 2013 Daytona 500 is a malign single-file mess of a race. Cars couldn't pass, and there was a bubble of dirty air that barred cars from getting close to one another. Well, fast forward to 2019 or 2020, really doesn't matter which year, the 550 horsepower package that we have in effect now, with high downforce, well, it creates the exact same effect. I didn't watch the broadcast yesterday because I was freezing my ass off at the track, and I did like the race. It was pretty fun to watch in person. There was a lot of racing going on through the pack, but when I went on social media, I saw many talking about the beach ball effect of dirty air that would bounce cars back from passing each other. Well, I can say that in person, it was exactly what it looked like when the cars raced for the lead. Chiefly when Kevin Harvick was chasing after Joey Logano for lap after lap after lap, with Alex Bowman catching up, who had a car that was not as good as Harvick's. It was a good car, it was better than Logano's car, but not as good as Harvick's, having a chance at passing Harvick. It was ridiculous. Now, lap cars did have a bit of an effect, and that caused a lot of trouble for the guys in second, third, and fourth. But overall, dirty air controlled that finish. Now, I was at Bristol back in September, and there was a nice duel between Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch. And there was a little bit of time where Kyle Busch couldn't pass Harvick, or Harvick couldn't pass Busch. But it was more because of grip levels, it was more because of lap cars, and more because of what line they chose. That wasn't an effect here. The only reason they chose different lines in second and third was so they could try and peek out of dirty air that Logano was causing. He basically had to control and block like it's a plate track. And while that's good at plate tracks, it's not good at the intermediates. Like I said, the racing in the middle of the pack was a lot better, but still had the same problem. And for what it is, the best mile and a half in Cup, this is damning for this package. For years, we as NASCAR fans have been hammering on NASCAR that this package isn't the answer. It's not working. That this package has done almost nothing towards giving us a long-term answer for fixing the racing overall at these tracks. And for a track like Kansas that has established history of good racing, it's shocking, and for many, it's the final straw. And I don't blame them. Now listen, I've never been always on the train of this package. I've opened my mind up to it, but I can't get behind it. And this proves it. Being at the track and how frustrating it was to watch Harvick close in over and over again, only for dirty air to basically choose what he would do. It was ridiculous. This package does have its positives, the chief of these being the breathtaking restarts. Over the last 2 years, there have been plenty of side-by-side, 3-wide, 4-wide, and even 5-wide racing on the restart. But Cup racing is not just restarts. They're not short stints, and they're not meant to be that way. They also aren't meant to be decided, like I said, by air as much as they are supposed to be decided by driver skill. Skill, not full throttle aero hypersensitive train racing. But this is what we have now. If you look at NASCAR fans this year, they almost unanimously say the Xfinity Series is the better series. The series is most like what we clamor for. When you've looked over at NASCAR leadership over the years, you have heard these same unsubstantiated claims or poorly thought out claims. You hear we like what we're seeing. You hear that the fan council voted for this, and you hear it's what OEMs want. Let's look at NASCAR liking what they see. What the hell else are they going to say? That the package sucks? That it's horrible? NASCAR is partnered with NBC and Fox for TV, as well as having numerous multi-million-dollar sponsorship deals. If they come out and say that their product is bad, that jeopardizes millions and possibly billions of dollars for them. And with a sport that is hurting as much as it is right now, they really don't want to add any flame to that injury. I don't like that this is how it is, but we have to accept that until partners are much more open to criticism, this is what we got. Now, something that should be called out is NASCAR's fan council, or more so, the reliance on the council's polls. Listen, when it comes to NASCAR, I love looking at polls about what people think. Jeff Gluck has a poll about how good the race was on a weekly basis on Twitter, and I also have one asking what people thought about each race week to week as well. Which, shameless plug, you can vote about the Kansas race on my community tab if you haven't already. Just go check it out. A lot of people have fun with it. And while these are not perfect, these can gauge a nice amount of the NASCAR fandom. Gluck gets a monopoly on the Twitter audience, and there's a lot to be gained from it. Mine is getting the younger YouTube side of the audience, but NASCAR polls for the fan council are very, very hit or miss. Some of the questions are fair, and others are also informative towards fans and about the issues that NASCAR plans to look towards. But others have given it a reputation of sourness. Questions are lopsided, obviously, towards what NASCAR wants the fans to go towards. This also is a way for NASCAR to scapegoat to the fans wanting what they want as well. Many like myself have dropped out of the fan council due to having no force in the process. The fact that it's just what NASCAR wants, and it's definitely geared that way. It's a facade of choice in many respects. And then, after that, we gotta look at the OEM argument. NASCAR is trying hard to attract new manufacturers moving forward. By many's line of thinking, this could add a large influx of money and support moving into the 2020s. And I'm not going to argue against this, but selling your present and foreseeable future for them is an awfully risky deal when it comes to looking at the state of the sport at this moment. Either they're extremely confident in their chances, or they're going to be in for a world of hurt compared to now. And I don't know if this goes away as quickly as 2022 either. NASCAR has said that they're basing parts of the next-gen car on the current 550 package. So what happens if that car, a car that is so hyped by the fans, ends up being a massive dud? Man, I'm cool with cautious optimism. But fans setting themselves up like this are setting themselves up for disappointment in many ways. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope to God I'm wrong. They could have the best car, something better than the Gen 4 car for all we know. But I'm not going to buy into it until I see cars racing on the track. But going back to the current year and 2021, I gotta say, I'm baffled because the 750 package that fans are screaming for is being used in the majority of the Cup Series races next year. So why not just use a variation of the 750 package for every track next year? At least for this one last year, the Gen 6 era, just go all out. What do you have to lose? You're not using these cars next year. We're having more warm day races next season than we've had for years and for a long time. That would favor the 750 package more. That'd be my fix, but I'm just one guy. What do I know? I want to hear all from you. What's your fix to the problem that we have now? Or do you like what we have now and don't think there's a problem? That's fine too. Just let me know down below. And while you're at it, leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content. And until next time, have a good one.